If you're a ProAV systems integrator, tell me if this story rings a bell. You've just landed a new project and you feel great about it. It's a multi-room project with a super tight schedule, but you've got all your ducks in a row. You've already got customer sign-off on the scope of work and the touch panel pages. All the gear is scheduled to arrive on time. And you spent weeks coordinating room availability with your customer and making sure your install crews are ready to go. Finally, day one of install arrives. Everything goes as planned. Whew. Day two comes and goes. No issues. Everything's looking good. Then, on the morning of day three, you get a call from your lead tech. You know this can't be good. You pick up the phone. Parts are missing, he says. And not as in purchasing forgot to order them, more like they were never added to the equipment list to begin with. What do? Now the project schedule you've worked so hard on is shot. Chances are you can't find these missing pieces at Home Desperate or Fry's, although you may waste time trying. You may be lucky enough to be within will call range of one of your vendors. Otherwise, you're paying exorbitant fees to get all the missing gear shipped overnight, scrambling to make sure you can keep your crews working without having to pull them off the project and reschedule them later. But any way you slice it, these delays and cost overruns just slaughtered the profitability on your project. This project that had so much going for it at the beginning. Does this story seem overly dramatic or painfully familiar? Believe me, I know how it feels. I've lived it for years. And depending on your role in the company, this experience can leave you feeling either embarrassed by an imperfect design or frustrated and angry as you see your profits dwindling away. So, what went wrong here? Well, it all happened back at the beginning, and I'll get to that in a second. But first, introductions. My name is Jeremy Birch, and I've been in ProAV since I began my career with Extron back in '97. From there, I've gone on to work for some of the largest AV integrators in Southern California, working as an engineer over the past 15 years. Like I said, I've lived the story I just told you too many times to count. It left me feeling frustrated, but not hopeless. So I set out to create a solution. I suspected I wasn't alone, so I interviewed some of the top AV engineers from around the US. And you know what I found? Turns out that the most mundane tasks that also eat up a majority of their design time are also the ones at the very root of that painful story I told you at the beginning. That's where the problem lay. That's what caused the whole project to unravel like a spool of cable being dragged behind a box truck. Thank you. So what are they? What are those time-consuming tasks that are so critical to making sure you don't end up with missing parts on the day of install? In a word, accessories. Think of these as the hinges on the door. They're the small ticket items that the system just can't work without. You know the common culprits that tend to be forgotten. Rack shelves and mounts, power supplies, pre-made cables, adapters, PoE injectors. You get the picture, right? It's maddening. These details take so much time to catch on the front end. But what if you don't spend that time? Disaster in the field that's exponentially more costly. But do you know what the second biggest time waster on the front end of a project is? Pricing lookups. Most manufacturers still don't have dealer websites with dealer pricing baked in. So finding your correct pricing as you're building a quote turns into the following 4-step process. 1. Open the network folder where you keep all of your pricing lists. 2. Scroll down until you find the manufacturer you want and open that folder. 3. Now you're probably staring at about 6 to 10 different price lists, most of which are out of date. You find the most current one. Yay! Then you ask yourself, is this really the most current one? Hard to know, unless you check with the manufacturer. Waste of time? You betcha. And then step 4, more than likely, Once you open the right price list, the most up-to-date one, you have several different pricing columns to choose from. You're presented with first column, second column, end column, or maybe silver, gold, platinum. Which one's the right one for your company? And why can't this be easier? Oh, but it can. So I've shown you how two mundane front-end tasks, nailing down accessories and hunting down pricing, are also the most time-consuming. Just how much time do they take? Well, remember those engineers I interviewed? Well, I ran their numbers, and it turns out, on average, those tasks take over 3 hours per project. 3 hours! Think about that. If your company only cranks out 30 quotes each month, that equates to almost $7,000 in engineering time. And if you don't spend this time on the front end, the consequences when it comes time to install are exponentially more costly. Wouldn't it be nice if there was an online lookup tool that was already preloaded with all the products you use most often that you could have up as a resource as you were building your quotes, where you could just log in, select your make and model, and it would bring up not only your dealer pricing and MSRP, but also a list of accessories that you could customize and make your own. So you never have to worry about forgetting those little products that bring your installations to a grinding halt ever again. Well, hold on to your hats and glasses, because that's about to become a reality. In December, I'll be soft launching this cloud-based solution at a fraction of what you're currently spending to manage these two issues manually. But I'm only opening up 5 of these early access spots, each of which will come with bonuses like deep discounts, strong influence on product direction, and direct access to me. So if this video has resonated with you, click the link below and schedule a time for us to chat. If you're watching this after November 2017, don't worry. Email me at the link below and we'll talk about getting you on the wait list. Trust me, I'll do my best to make your wait as short as possible. But if you're seeing this in November when it comes out and you're ready to take action, click on that scheduling link below and schedule our call. Bring all your questions. I'd love to meet you and have the privilege of significantly impacting your AV integration business. Talk soon.